and welcome back inside of the Rogers studio for another segment of North Stars Noise. I'm your host, Matt Sanderson. As we've hit the halfway point of the Senior B OLA lacrosse season, we're going to take a look at the standings here in just a little bit. The Owen Sound Senior B North Stars sitting in third place right now, 6-4 right now on the year. And you see those two teams in front of them, though. Those are the teams that they have to beat, that they've had troubles with as of late. We'll get into that in just a minute. The Oakville Titans 8-2, Six Nations 7-2, and then the North Stars, like I mentioned, 6-4. The Brooklyn Merchants 5-4. The Ennismore James Gang 3-9, and then KW Velocity grabbing that one win on the season, 1-9 with 2 points. Let's take a look at the scores for the Owen Sound Senior B Lluna 1059 North Stars. If in this past week, back on June the 15th, which was Friday, it was a dominating win over Kitchener-Waterloo, 15-5. And then 2 days later, Owen Sound was in Brooklyn, and they fell to the score of 10-9, just missing out on becoming a 7-3 team rather than a 6-4 team. The big thing right now for the Owen Sound Senior B North Stars is they have to be able to knock off those top guns, and they've struggled throughout the season. There is no doubt. The Oakville Titans and the Six Nations Rivermen, they have yet to beat this season. It'll be interesting to see what they do as the rest of this season does go on. Now let's take a look at the scoring leaders around the league. Dylan Goddard of the Brooklyn Merchants, 40 points there. And you see Cree Blakely, Brandon Slade, Graham Bergsma, Brendan Muse, Dan Michael, Jeff Fernandez, Josh Gilray, and then Owen Sound's Patrick Saunders, the first Owen Sound Senior B North Star member this season to crack the top 10. You see there, 15 goals, 15 assists for 30 points. But look at the number 10 guy. He's played a total of 3 games, and he scored 29 points. The guy's been on fire. Connor Kiernan of the Brooklyn Merchants, 14 goals, 15 assists. Now let's go over to Owen Sound scoring, and Patrick Saunders leading the way there with 30 points. Travis Sabolik's having a good season, 11-11 for 22. Matt McLeod up there in the mix with Jeff Ivey, Robbie Milnes. Both of those two gentlemen tied. Andy Campbell, Todd Grier tied. Lachlan Elder alone there in the number 8 spot. Zach Thompson and Colin Maudsley round out the top 10 there. Now we're going to go and take a look at the upcoming games for the Senior B North Stars. Saturday, June 23rd, this coming Saturday, they're home to the Oakville Titans. Will be a big game. And then Sunday, June 24th, they're at Six Nations. I mentioned the fact of the struggles they've had against those two teams. They get tested this coming week. It'll be huge. And then Friday, June the 29th, they're at KW, and then they finish off the rest of their season home, and home. One game home to the Six Nations Rivermen, and then home and homes from July the 8th to July the 15th against the Brooklyn Merchants. And then we get into playoff time from there. All right, so now that we've caught you up on all that, we're going to step aside and catch up with Todd Grier, who we met up with a while back for Reach the Stars. You've been in this league for a little while. What's your most memorable moment?
Honestly, just showing up and playing with the guys every week. Great group of guys here, so every game's special just because of the group of guys in there.
Who's the funniest guy in the locker room?
I think Cloudy's always a good time in there.
And do you have a favorite lacrosse player that you looked up to maybe growing up?
Classic rock player, Colin Doyle, I'd say so, yeah.
And speaking of classic rock, would that be your type of music that you like?
Yeah, oh yeah. Get some AC/DC and some Zeppelin going, why not?
Playing it out there slowly in your ears as you're out there on the court. When you're out on the floor, what's maybe Do you have a superstition or something that maybe you do pregame?
Not really, no. I'm a pretty relaxed guy, so I just try to stay loose. I'm not too superstitious, but yeah, I just try not to think too much about the game and just have a good time with the guys, and it comes naturally.
And you're the thing that you're looking forward to the most this season with this club?
Oh, I'm hoping for a successful year. Winning the championship would be the goal. So we got a good group of guys in there, and I think we can do it. So.
Outside of lacrosse, what else do you do?
Golf a bit. I play a lot of hockey in the winter. Spend time with the family, you know, hang out with the boys. So yeah.
So if you weren't being a lacrosse player, would you be a golfer?
No, stick to hockey. Hockey, yeah.
Hockey, all right. Nice being able to catch up with Todd Grier there a couple of weeks back. He's a good individual to talk to, and he's having a good season right now for the Senior B North Stars. I stressed on it a couple weeks back. I'll stress on it again. The North Stars, very well-rounded scoring across the board for this team. They're going to need a lot more of that, especially come this upcoming weekend. As I mentioned, June 23rd, taking on the Oakville Titans at the Bayshore, and then going to Six Nations to take on the Rivermen on June the 24th. That does it for this segment of North Stars Noise. Join us this weekend as those games are coming up, and they're going to be big ones here on Rogers TV. Thanks, everybody. Take care.